were pursuing, and Lord just really blessed us. So, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Praise God. Praise God. Now, something you said there in the dating process, you found out that you two both had the same belief. How important is it for a potential, I guess, a dating or court couple that's courting? How important does belief play in the longevity of their relationship?
It's crucial. It's very, very important. I think a mistake that you can make is, and that's what I was mentioning before, when you're dating, especially if you're in a position where you're single and you've been single a long time, and then you have, I know I did, my testimony is that I dealt with issues of feeling alone and just wanted to go out on a date or kind of be with someone just to be with someone. And so, but I think it's really important as you're dating that if you're meet someone and you don't have those beliefs, even to seek God's will in it, and if necessary to move on, because if you are, even the Word of God tells us not to be unequally yoked, and there's a lot of perils that come with that, just continuing forward dating in a relationship with someone where you don't share the same beliefs, because that's what's key. Because even though we are dating and looking for marriage, we're still Christians and belong to God, and we have to give Him what He wants. The Word of God says that in everything we do, we should do it to the glory of God. And so if there's something that He is calling His will for us, and to live right, to believe a certain way, to hold a certain standard, then we don't want to be unequally yoked with someone that's not doing the same thing. There's a lot of perils that can come with that.
So you mean to tell me if he goes to church and she go to church, that makes them, they're not necessarily equally yoked?
Yeah, I mean, just because you go to church, it's not just about your physical appearance at church, or even religion for that matter. It's about relationship with God and the love that we have for the Lord, and that's very, very important. There have been times in my Christian walk where I was yoked up with people in the church who were not there for godly reasons. They were there for other reasons, and I'm trying to focus on something that would be a blessing to the ministry. Had those different ones surrounding me whose focus was something else, and it just did not work. And so if it's going to be like that in a church, then how much more important should it be in your marriage? You have to be equally yoked. You have to, it's more than just about going to church. You have to make sure that one of the first things I discovered about my wife is that she was a praying woman. As a matter of fact, on our first date, we were saying the blessings over the food when I took her out to eat that night. And as we were praying, I kind of opened up my eyes and looked at her a little bit while she was praying. And she was so serious about the prayer. It was a blessing over the food, but her look was so serious, and a lot of times we want to take the blessing over the food lightly, but that's really a very serious thing. It's an important thing. And so when I saw that was very impressive to me, because prayer is important to me. I knew that, even at that point, I knew that with this young lady, is more than just her going to church on Sundays. It's more than just religion with her. She really and truly has a relationship with God. I have a relationship with God. And with her, she made it very clear in the beginning that was a very important prerequisite, is that whoever she is going to be with must love the Lord. All right? And so it was with myself. So that's very important.
Awesome. So prerequisites make me think of the list. I think if anybody's been in church for, let's not say church, let's go take it to the singles ministry. If anybody has been to a singles ministry of any sort, a lot of times, if they talk about marriage, a lot of times they say, you need to make out your list, so to God or whatever. I guess for a married couple that's actually married who, 6 months into their marriage, how, and not, freshly from the, I guess, dating, courtship, whatever scene, how important is that list? Is that really important, or is that important?
Yes, it is. So many times people would tell me that my standards were too high. I need to lower my standards. I need to try this and try that, and you're too this, you're too that. And I did it, and it didn't work. And I'm glad that I waited on the Lord, because as I was telling her, it takes me back to the garden when Adam was put to sleep in the rib. God took a rib out of him and created woman. So woman was actually already inside of the man, and God took the rib out of the woman, took the woman out of the man, and created her. And so when I look back at that story in Genesis, she was already in me. And so there's already a silhouette kind of image of her. Okay, it was according to my desires, according to what I needed, according to what I liked, what I was attracted to, and I thank God that I waited, because she actually excels the list. All right, so so many people tell me that my standards were high. Well, God's standards were even higher than mine, because she actually excels the list, and we fit together so perfectly. All right, we have so many things in common. We'll find ourselves thinking the same thoughts. We'll find ourselves blurting out the same words, or making even the same gestures sometime. All right, without even knowing it, we're both thinking the same thing. And when I see these things, I really realize that we are one flesh, and she was made specifically and solely for me, and I for her. So I believe that, if there's something that's really in you desire, there's something that you see concerning a mate, I really believe that you can hold on to it, because God is able to do anything. He can do anything. He can do anything. And I believe she was created just for me. And like I said, it works. We work together so well. So many people we notice watch us as a couple. We get so many compliments when we're together. You all are a beautiful couple, and you all are a handsome and a very attractive couple. We see that a lot of people admire and are blessed because of our union. So we know that this is from the Lord. And I once again, if there's something you see, if there's something that you feel inside about who your mate is and should be, I believe you should hold on to it and wait on God. And I'm a witness, and this is my testimony.
I do too, and because we belong to God and He loves us, He cares about what we desire and what we truly want. I was told the same thing too, not to have a list or just be open to whomever God sends, but I believe that God's perfect will can be played out in our lives, and He can incorporate the desires of our heart and bless us with the desires of our heart at the same time, because God is concerned, and we should be aware and knowledgeable of what it is that we do want and that what we are looking for, because you're talking about a lifetime relationship. This isn't something, the world, they kind of get married and they have the attitude, well, if it don't work out, we'll just get a divorce. But that's not the perfect will of God. That's not how He intended for marriage to be in the beginning. So I think it's good to have a list, but then also to be prepared to. We were talking to a good friend of my husband's before we got married, and he was telling us that marriage is the death of the self. So not only be prepared to get what you want, but also be prepared to be what someone else wants also. So it's true. You're blessed, but at the same time, you can be you'll be a blessing to someone else when it's in the perfect will of God. So He knows the desires of our hearts.
Praise God. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I have about 4 or 5 more questions, and then I'm gonna open it up for for anybody who's on the call to ask some questions as well. So we're gonna, and of course we want to be mindful of prayer time as well. Now again, and I love this analogy, Pastor Ron and Evangelist Candra. The building blocks. Now, is there a set time for each stage? Because I'm kind of like, I guess when you say a building blocks, I'm almost thinking of a car, like shifting gears. Like, should there be a certain point, like, okay, I'm at dating now. At this point, what point do I shift into courtship, or what time? You kind of discuss what one should be looking for. Is there a certain time? I mean, can someone be dating the same person for 2 years, and then maybe courting for 5 years, and then maybe engaged for 10 years? And I'm really exaggerating that. So is there a time frame with that, or no, or what's your thoughts on that?
My thought initially on that is that it's will depend on each couple and also God's will for each couple. We dated, as my husband said, for a short time, and then we went to the level of courtship, and then we were engaged, and we were engaged a little bit longer than what we had planned, just because God was working some things out for once we got to the stage of our marriage. So I think it's just about praying and seeking God's will. I agree with my husband, though, that dating shouldn't be it shouldn't take you a long time to know if someone is a prospect or not to be a husband or wife, or if God's leading you that way or not. But I can't say that there's specific times within 6 months this should be, and then within a year that should be. I think it's really about how God is leading and putting God first, and then we have to kind of avoid the temptation to rush, because I was single for a very long time. So on our first date, I have to admit, I'm like, okay, let's get married. let's build, let's get the blocks going and move forward. But it couldn't go as fast as I personally wanted it to. It was about what God's will was for us. So
Amen. And I agree with my wife. It's according to each couple and the will of God. You can drive a car and you kind of have an idea when it's time to go from first to second and second to third and so forth and so on. And as we are, focused in God and focused in our relationship and the goal of marriage, you'll know when it's time to advance to the next level, and it should not be a long, drawn out process.